if you keep ending up in the same patterns, the same money patterns, relationship patterns, health patterns, or self-abandonment patterns, the problem may not be what you are doing. It may be the story you are living from. And that is what we are going to be talking about today. Let's dive right in. Welcome, beautiful souls, to Infinite You. I'm Dr. Sheri, multidimensional mindset mentor, spiritual psychologist, and human design practitioner. And here on Infinite You, we explore identity, psychology, energy, human design, conscious creation, and what it means to become the next level version of yourself so you can create more of what you truly want in your life. And if these kinds of conversations resonate with you, I would love to have you here. Go ahead, hit subscribe, hit like, and let's dive right in. I want to start today talking about patterns because most people think that a pattern is just something they keep doing. I keep choosing the same kind of relationship. I keep putting myself last. I keep starting and stopping. I keep struggling with money. I keep losing momentum. I keep overgiving. I keep feeling stuck. And yes, those are patterns, but I want you to consider something deeper. What if the pattern is not just what you do? What if the pattern is connected to who you have become inside of that story? Because every repeated pattern usually has a role, a character, an identity, a version of you that shows up again and again. And until you see that version of yourself clearly, you may be trying to change your behavior while still living from that same story. So, for example, if the pattern is overgiving, the role might be the responsible one, the one who holds everything together, the one who checks in, the one who anticipates everyone else's needs, the one who feels guilty resting, the one who believes that love means sacrifice. So even if she says she wants freedom, she keeps creating from responsibility, not because freedom is unavailable, but because her identity is still organized around being needed. So let's say the pattern is money stress. The role might be the woman who never has enough, the woman braces, the woman who expects money to disappear, the woman who feels unsafe receiving more. So even if she says she wants abundance, her thoughts, her emotions, her decisions, and her nervous system keep revolving around money from lack. And if the pattern, let's say, is around health or energy, the role might be the woman who cannot trust her body, the woman who feels betrayed by her body, the woman who feels limited before she even begins. And that story shapes how she moves, how she chooses, how she plans, creates, and relates to possibility. This is why patterns can feel so hard to break, because you are not just changing an action, you are changing the identity underneath the action. I hope that makes sense. And this is where we have to look at patterns multidimensionally, right? So psychologically, a pattern may be connected to beliefs that you learned long ago. Energetically, it may be connected to a frequency that you keep rehearsing. In the body, it may be or feel like a contraction, protection, or survival mode. And in human design, it may be connecting to your conditioning, places where you are absorbing expectations, pressure, and energy that is not really yours. And from a conscious creation perspective, your current reality may be showing you what identity that you have been creating from. This is not to blame you, it is not to shame you, but it is to give you information, because current reality, remember, is feedback. It's not the final authority, but your current reality is giving you feedback of what is going on inside of you in those stories, in the role you're playing, in the character that you have, glommed onto, right? So I want you to think about one area of your life where you keep repeating a pattern: money or love or health or business, purpose, freedom, confidence, energy, right? Choose one and then ask yourself, what is the pattern? And more importantly, who do I become inside this pattern? Do I become the overgiver? Do I become the struggler, the invisible one, the responsible one, the woman who waits, the woman who proves, the woman who settles, the woman who hides, the woman who keeps carrying everything? That role matters because that role has thoughts, that role has beliefs, expectations, emotions, a vibration. That role has a relationship with what you want. And if you are willing, tell me in the comments, what pattern are you ready to break? Even one word is enough, right? So whoever you are, the overgiver, the person stuck in lack, whatever the case may be, where are you? What role are you playing? And here's a simple practice for you. Write this down. The pattern I keep repeating is ... And then write, the role I play inside the pattern is ... And then ask, what does this version of me believe? What does she expect? What does she think is possible? What does she think is not possible? What does she keep choosing because of that story? This is where awareness begins. And then ask, what is the next level version of me in this area? What does she think? How does she move? What does she believe? What does she allow? What does she choose? What does she decide? What does she stop carrying? What does she start trusting? Because breaking the pattern is not only about doing something different, it is about becoming someone different inside the pattern. You are not stuck because you are broken. There is nothing to fix. This is all about flipping a switch. This is all about making a shift, right? We are all on this human journey together, growing, evolving, expanding, and becoming. You may simply be living inside of a story that is too small for who you are becoming, and it doesn't feel good. You know that. We all know that. We're all living that in one way or another, myself included, and I don't want to go off on a tangent about that. Just remember, a story about what is possible, a story about what you are allowed to have, a story about who you have to be, a story about how much you have to carry, a story about what always happens for you. But familiar is not the same as true. Just because a pattern has repeated does not mean it is your destiny. Just because an identity helped you survive one season does not mean it is the identity that gets to create your next level. As a matter of fact, it won't. The identity helping you survive will not create your next level. And you are allowed to see the role. You are allowed to question the story. You are allowed to choose differently. You are allowed to create from a new version of yourself. And this is exactly why I created the Quantum Identity Playbook, because the first step to creating more of what you want is seeing the patterns, the stories, the beliefs, the old programs, the identity loops you have been creating from. And the playbook will help you see the loop and pivot and decide to create from who you really are. And I will link it below. I will also put in a link for my free newsletter. I would love for you to be a part of my community. And I also have an upcoming masterclass where I will go deeper into your next level breakthrough so you can get clear on what you want, identify the story keeping you stuck, and stepping into the version of you who creates from a new level of possibility. So stay close for that. And before we go, remember this. You do not just have a pattern. You may have a role you keep playing inside the pattern. And once you see the role, you can stop rehearsing the same story. You can choose a new identity, a new belief, a new expectation, a new frequency, a new level of possibility. And I will see you all next time, beautiful souls. Namaste. I hope this video helped you. Go ahead, hit subscribe, hit like, and I will see you all next time.